Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's your boy Blackout back here with a quick review. Now, this is my promised 30-day review of the Here Ayn Odin 2. Now, I also have over here what I also said in my last video I was waiting to come, which is the Retro Pocket 4 Pro, and different devices, different manufacturers, but just kind of wanted to put them side by side so you guys can see the difference between the two size wise. Now, granted, you see I got a screen protector on both of these. For some reason, the Ain screen protector is excellent. The Retro screen protector, I got two of them and they've both done the same thing. So I don't know, maybe it could be my application, maybe it could be uh, just the quality of the screen protectors. But anyway, just wanted to put these side by side, and want to give you a quick overview of how I feel about this after using it for 30 days. I have some pros about this. Obviously, this is a great device, well reviewed. A lot of people have reviewed this device and said great things about it. So I have the same exact things to say. I want to talk about my experience. And again, I think what's going to make this review a little bit different from some of the other reviewers' claims about this is that I've maybe had some time to actually just use it and purely use it. So I'm going to be talking about more things than just about my performance. I'm going to talk about the hardware, the physical chassis of this, a lot of things. But I want to keep this short and sweet. I'm not going to go into the details of opening it up and you know, all of that stuff, mainly because there's other reviewers out there who have done those things and given their first take. So I just want to give you guys my experience with this. I also had a reviewer tell me, I also had somebody in the comment section tell me that my videos need to have a better lighting as far as not using RGB lights. So here we are. I do have some of my RGB lights on, but I do have a light up there that you can probably see. So hopefully the quality of this is up to par for what you guys are expecting. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, I want to talk about the specs of my Ayn Odin 2 Pro. And again, for me, I decided to go with the middle version, and it's rocking a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage. It's a 6-inch 1080p touch display. The GPU is an Adreno 740. The battery is 8,000 milliamp hours with Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3, micro HDMI and Type-C connector for video, a 3.5 millimeter jack for audio, and a 65 watt quick charge 5.0 capabilities. And the weight is about 420 grams. Now, if you see my unboxing video, that was the first thing I pointed out was the weight. And actually, this is a great device in hand. I had some time to use this, and I've also had some time to use my Retro Pocket 4. And even though this is smaller, more pocketable, there are pros and cons about both. And this isn't necessarily a comparison video, maybe it is, but this is basically going to be about, you know, how it feels in the hand right now. Now, in hand, first thing first, out of the box, it feels pretty good. Now, the con that I want to point out about this device is you can tell I've been using it. I've had it for about 30 days. And if you see here, let me go in a little bit tighter here. If you look at this area here, in these corners, you'll see that this is where your hands are kind of gripping this device, and there's some noticeable wear and tear in these areas. Now, they do have a case that you can put on here, a silicone, I believe, case or something like that. It's a clear case that you can put on here to protect it from that. But I do want to let you know that this is what I've gotten in 30 days of using it, and that's something you might want to consider when you're getting this device, because I've been using it naked, minus the screen protector. So anyway, in hand, it's a great device. It feels good. Now, one of the things I didn't know when I purchased this, that it has a fingerprint sensor. This one doesn't. Again, not a comparison video, but this one does not have a fingerprint sensor. So basically, you have to, either swipe to unlock or leave it unlocked. I like the fact that this is a little bit more secure with the Ayn Odin. So big plus. The joysticks are great. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those. And I also like that it has LED capability, which you can change really easily in the software. Now, like I said, now here's how you unlock it. Boom, fingerprint. You can swipe from the top, and you can go to ambient light over here, as you can see right there. And right now, mines are not bright, but I can adjust the brightness, and you can see how it looks. Now, if I turn this light off, maybe you get a better idea of how it looks. And I can also change the colors, things of that nature. So yeah, all in all, that's great. And then also the lights are on the side as well, which is pretty cool. I don't use them all the time, but I find that there are times where it makes the device feel a little bit more immersive in really dark rooms. So you can use that right there. Now, a couple other key things I want to point out about this device. I'm using Emulation Station as my front end. And I'm running, things like RetroArch for some of my older SNES games and things of that nature. Now, mind you, one of the things you should keep in mind about this device is it does not come preloaded with anything. So, with that being said, you can watch some tutorials online. I've done that. I've also had, a history of doing emulations in the past with Raspberry Pi device. So I have a little bit of experience doing this because I've built this probably like 8 years ago. But you can do that as well. Now, there's a couple links I'll leave below so you guys can take a look at some YouTubers that I've seen that I follow to install my emulators. But as you see here, I have a folder of emulators. Now, again, this is running Android, so you're going to have to run Android emulators, obviously, and everything's going to be in Android. Now, Emulation Station is pretty good on Android. Now, and it's constantly being updated. Again, this isn't a tutorial on how to do all of that stuff, but I just kind of want to give you my experience. Now, before I give you totally my experience, let me tell you about some of the things that I like. I have some notes here, and I kind of want to share that with you guys. So things that I like: form factor, the bumps, the size, the weight. I talked about the weight earlier in the video, and it's good weight. The form factor is great, and what really makes the form factor really good is these bumps right here. These bumps make this form factor really good. I can tell you this: playing my Retroid Pocket 4 Pro, and not having those bumps on the back, I find myself cramping up a little bit. Now, I've also had, a number of injuries and surgeries in my life, and I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'2", but so my hands are, medium size. I wouldn't say super large, but I've had some injuries in my life, some surgeries in my life, and things like that. So I find this to be very cramped, but on the go, when I'm just at the dentist office, as you'll see, I'll throw some B-roll up here of that. When I'm just out about on the go, I find this to be really good and really comfortable to put in my pocket. But again, this isn't about this. This is a video about this. Now, I'm going on a cruise soon, and when I go on this cruise, I'm looking forward for this device to be my main driver when I'm on a plane flying to the location that I'm going to get on the cruise for a week that I'm going to be on the cruise. This device is going to hold up. Now, one thing to note about this device is the games that it can play. Because of the processor, the device, the model that I chose with the Snapdragon 8 Gen with the 8 gigs of RAM, and all of that stuff, this can play PS2 games like a breeze. If you're looking for something strictly for PS2, this is the way to go. If you're looking for something that can get away with some PS2 games, but you care more about maybe some platformer games, this is the way to go. And The reason why I say the RP4 is the way to go for some of your 2D games is really because of where that D-pad is for me, preferably. It's easier to play fighting games if I'm using the D-pad, or any 2D platformer if I'm using the D-pad there. A little bit harder to use the D-pad here, but because of the size on the Ayn Odin 2, it's easier to maneuver between the D-pad and the joystick, no matter its orientation, be it north side or south side. So that's the way I will look at this. The button layout is obviously different. You got pause and select up here, and then you got your Android buttons down here, which is home and then back. So pretty neat for that. As far as sound goes, when I'm playing this, I don't really hear a lot of noise. It's very quiet. Now, let's talk about some other things that I like here. I don't want to deviate too far from my notes. Now, another thing that I like about this, and I'll throw the website up about this, is Ayn support for replacement parts. They have an Odin 2 repair kit online, and it's fairly priced. If you are the type of person that's willing to open things up and get it done yourself, which you can find plenty of tutorials on YouTube, and you can find tools to help you do that. One of the tools that I recommend to help you open up parts is by iFixit. Their toolkits are pretty good, and you're pretty much going to have everything you need to open up a device like this. Now, they support replacement parts. I like that, because if you wear out these joysticks, if you wear out a D-pad, if you want to swap things out with different colors, you can do that. The only downside that I don't like about their replacement parts is that they did not offer a replacement screen. That would have been cool to know that if you drop this, you scratch your screen, you break your screen, whatever the case may be, it's easy to replace. So you can replace almost everything but the screen, the CPU, and I mean, obviously the motherboard and components that makes this the Ayn Odin. But some of those accessory parts are replaceable. If you're a DIY kind of person, you can do that. I am that kind of person, so I don't mind, swapping out sticks when they, wear out. But so far, these sticks are pretty good. Now, one of the things I will say about the sticks is, if you notice here, and it's probably really hard to notice considering that, hopefully you can see that. You see those little scratches on the sticks. Now, it's not a big deal, but that just comes from digging your nail in there and digging your fingers in there and stuff like that. So, I don't use the right one as much, so that's a point of comparison, right versus left. So that makes me curious to know, like, I can put some, bumpers on there, like these that I have. I can put some of these on there, but I like the feel of these, and because the replacement parts are so inexpensive, which is basically about the price of getting something like this, just buy the replacement parts and replace them when you need to. And the cool thing about it, by the way, going back to the joystick, is you can always take this part off and replace it with something else if it's just this that's messed up. So you got your options there. Again, pretty darn cool that you can do that on this device, and it is fairly priced. Now, talking about price, I believe this device is going for $369, $370 last time that I checked. And those are some of the things that you need to consider when you're talking about getting a device like this. What do I mean by that? Well, the base price for one of these is $249, which I kind of don't recommend. If you're going to go $249, this starts at $149, but you really want the pro version of this and it goes to $200, just get this if this is what you're going to go, unless you just want the screen and that's what you're into. But if you're going for the $199 version of this, or I mean the $249 version of the Ayn Odin Pro, then if you're going for the $249 version for the Ayn Odin Pro 2, then you are more likely better off and getting better performance in this. If you're getting it for 2D platformers, I don't even see why you would just get this strictly for 2D platformers. Go ahead and save yourself some money and get a great experience by going with the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro. Now, with the Ayn Odin Pro 2, the price at 369 gets really good. If you're looking to emulate Switch games, you want to step up to the max from the Pro and go with the 459 version. Now, the things I don't like about the prices, let's point this out. I feel like this should have come with an additional accessories for the price, especially since it's a brand new current gen gaming console. It's close to the price range of the Odin 2 Max. And also the competitors like Valve Stream Deck is about $399 for the LCD model and comes with a carrying case and higher refresh rate screen. So you're getting kind of close to what newer devices, not newer devices, higher end devices can do, and kind of closer to the form factor of them. Now I don't have an a Steam Deck, or I don't have a Ally or anything like that. Now I did get my hands on one of my buddy's Allies, and who knows, I might go grab it from his house and see if he let me make a review of it. And but for the most part, man, I did use that device, by the way, this is not a review about that device, but when I did use that device, Windows on a handheld is a freaking headache. And this is why I went this way. Yeah, I can play my Call of Duties and everything on a Ally, and I would get away with it. For my friend, he just is a gamer. He's not the techiest of gamers. He just wants to plug and play, and he gets a lot of free products because of who he is. And I can see that thing collecting dust. He rather brings his PlayStation 5 on the road with him wherever he goes. So ease of use is important, and this is something that I want to talk about without being too long-winded. Being able to get in here, change certain things, it's not easy for the average person, or the person who's just not into it or don't have time to do it. They just want to open it up and play. So again, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you just want to open this up, press play, be my guest, you're not going to be able to get that done. Go with something else. But that's for most handheld devices outside of the Switch. Now, again, going back to the accessories, this doesn't come with a charger. I would suggest getting a 25 watt charger. It can get away with a 15, 25 to, I think this could take up to a 65 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a 65 watt charger it can go up to. So you'll do great with a 65 watt. 45, 35 watt would do you just fine as well. Now, speaking of charging and battery life on this thing is amazing. When I'm playing the games that I'm playing, which is, and I'll go here and show you some of the games that I play. This will show you my most recent games. Last played Gran Turismo 4 on PS2, Tennis on Dreamcast, Tennis 2K2, some Metal Slug and stuff like that, Art of Fighting, those are Neo Geo games that I play, and some Super Nintendo games, and a couple N64 games as well. Now, when I'm playing these games, I kid you not, I can see myself. The longest flights that I'm typically taking are from East Coast to the West Coast, from California to New York at the longest. And we're talking about 5 hours. I do not see a reason why this wouldn't be able to play at max settings a PS2 game. Well, max settings for this device, PS2 game, with, without losing, with this thing dying. You're going to get probably about, man, I don't know. I haven't measured it because I haven't had them die on me while I was playing, but they last a long time. So if you're the type of person that's going to be traveling a lot, you don't want to have to charge this. It takes USB Type-C, so you can charge it pretty quickly, pretty easily. But flip that back over. But again, this device will last you some time. So anything else I want to talk about? Because I know this video is running a little bit long. We talked about the storage. I mean, that's all standard. It's not very pocketable. We talked about that. This does have a 1-year warranty. And again, like I said, for some people, it may or may not be a big deal. This is subjective. The 1-year warranty for me, it's not a big deal because, like I said, they sell replacement parts and you're able to do it relatively easily, provided you got some inexpensive tools to do it with. But that's it. That's all I really wanted to say about this. I'll probably show some B-roll, some gameplay, all of that stuff. But overall, it's been a great experience for me. The D-pad is good. The joystick is good. It's great feeling in the hand. A little bit worried about the wear and tear on the back of this device, but on the go, all in all, excellent device. 1,000% recommended if you're, into retro gaming. But hey, that's the end of my video. Hopefully I didn't record a 20-minute video that does not sound good like I did before. But again, it's your boy Blackout, and looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one. By the way, I'm changing my logo down here. As you can see, that looks janky with the black kind of being disappeared out. My little brother, shout out to my little bro, he created a new one for me, updated it, so I'm going to be using that on my next video. But anyway, you guys have a good one. It's your boy Blackout. Take care. Peace.